Hello, this is Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. This is Rob with WKQ and the Shark. How you doing?
I'm good. It's getting cold, but I'm okay.
What's the situation going on? Why are you chained to a water slide right now?
Well, I'm chained to a water slide because I don't want to lose my business. We started the water park 8 years ago in 2008, and unfortunately, the economy just collapsed, and then all it did was rain in 2008 and 9 all summer long. And we just got in a hole that we could never get out. And I've been trying to dig it out little by little since then. But eventually we just got too far behind. And with all the new banking regulations, the bank had to call the loan. I mean, it wasn't their fault. They've been great to us. But they had to call the loan. And, we owed them, $1 million plus. And so we tried to work out a deal with Whale's Tail, but it just didn't work out. And so it went into foreclosure. My mom passed away, and then about 2 months later, my dad passed away. And so I just didn't have the time to really dig my heels in and work hard to try to save it right away. But once I got past both their deaths, I said, I got to start calling and try to find someone. And so I spent days emailing and texting and phone calling, but it just takes too long. And so I said, I got to do something that I can hopefully get the media attention to come out and help me spread the word really fast. And so, I admit it's a little bit of a publicity stunt, chaining yourself. But
Now, when did you decide to chain yourself? Were you just sitting there one day and just being like, well, might as well just go chain myself to a water slide? Was it a lot of planning? Was it just spur of the moment? I mean, how'd you get here?
There was a lot of planning. I think I was sitting in a movie theater one day, and it just kind of popped in my head that, because I knew I had to do something, and I said, you know what, I just need to go to the highest point in the park, which was the slide tower, and set up a base camp and try to start getting on social media and just try to get the word out and let people know what I'm doing. I had called my family and friends ahead of time and let them know, but yeah, it was probably about a month in the planning phase.
A whole month, and how long do you expect you can stay up there? I saw they had some supplies and a tent. How long can you stay up there?
I can stay up here basically, honestly, indefinitely, because my friends and family have been very supportive. They've been bringing me food and water. My fellow veterans, my fellow Army veterans have brought me by a lot of extreme cold weather gear. And I have an outlet so I can charge my phone. So I plan on staying up here until either the auction happens on December 2nd, which would be horrible because we'd lose it all, or we can get someone to work out a deal with us in the bank and save it. So if I have to be here for the next 3 or 4 weeks, I plan on being here.
Sure, and it sounds like you're prepared. Now, I'm sure a lot of people will be curious, obviously when you're going through the planning of chaining yourself to a water slide, what kind of gear do you have up there, and what kind of food do you have stocked up there?
I have some cans of soup. I have a bunch of MRE, Army rations. I have some K-cups so I can try to make some coffee, and then just a bunch of winter clothing.
And actually, one thing I'm curious about, my first thought, do you have a porta potty up there, a toilet or something like that? I mean, that's kind of first thought.
That's an important one. Yeah, I have a makeshift, almost like a camper's toilet type of thing. Yes.
Excellent. And, so you're up here and you're hoping for a positive result. You're hoping this gets attention and, somebody to either invest or help out. And what do you think your next step will be if you achieve that goal? I mean, obviously unchaining yourself, but what's the next step?
Well, if we can work out a deal that we can bring to the bank and they'll accept it, then yeah, the auction would be called off, and I'll unchain myself and I will climb down those stairs, a very happy person, and we will use this money to pay off our debts. So we'll literally be able to go into business and start fresh with no debt. And what I've been telling people is it's kind of like getting out of college. Do you get out of college and have $100,000 in debt, or do you get out of college and have no debt? And there's a big difference between the two. And that's the difference between us not being successful in the past and us being successful in the future. And I've come to accept that, so I'm willing to, sell a large percentage of the ownership of the park to someone else, so that the end result would be that we would be debt free and we could go into the future and be successful.
Sure. I mean, this is. It seems like it's kind of like almost like a Hail Mary. And I don't know, if I were you, if I were to get the good news, I would ride right down that water slide because it's there. I mean, why take the stairs when you got a slide?
That's true. I suppose there's no water running because it's all winterized. But you know what? I could hose myself down and I could make a victorious splash. Absolutely, that's a great idea.